Good morrow, scholars. Welcome to our continuing coverage of various types of movie monsters, or I guess just monsters. They don't have to be in movies. I'm not a troglodyte or anything. Okay, so I figured since I have so many Five Nights at Freddy's t-shirts now, I say that, but it's only 2, but I'm gonna get more. Why not go over ghosts? Spoiler alert, in case you haven't played any of the games, don't know what I'm talking about. Each animatronic, there's 3 here. Then there's Chica, their toy counterparts, the Phantom counterparts, there's the Puppet, there's Golden Freddy, there's Springtrap, there's Plushtrap, there's loads and loads of characters, which is actually a trope now that I think about it. But at least the initial 5 and the next ones each had a spirit of presumably a child possessing the animatronic, and that was the cause for them trying to kill you in the games. This kind of took a damper, or it took a turn, I suppose, when you consider in the second game, which is a prequel to the first game, the murders hadn't occurred yet, and yet they're still trying to kill you. So either it's something we haven't considered, or there are way more murders than we thought. Which seems the most likely. Now then, I figured why not go ahead and just talk about ghosts, since we have Five Nights at Freddy's t-shirt. It's an extra large, by the way. See how much room I have? I don't know. Anyway, so I went ahead and I pulled up a TV tropes page about ghosts. It's very weird not to see me on the little camera while I'm looking at the screen. So why not go over what ghosts are real quick, even though everyone knows. Ghosts are usually people who have died, but their spirits are still lingering around. Some can be friendly, some are neutral, and some are vengeful. It all depends on what kind of story is being told, or what kind of ghost you're running into, should you be running into a ghost in real life. Some reasons for ghosts and them being created, I suppose, is the proper way to say it. I don't know. One of the reasons is either revenge or perhaps recognition. For instance, here it says revenge specifically. The ghost was killed through a foul play, knows it, and wants the murder avenged. Sometimes, it says here, a clear my name can be used instead, where the ghost in life was framed. A good example of this is one of the Sixth Sense books, which I used to love reading in middle school. Yes, there were, in fact, books. You should go look them up sometime. They're actually quite good. Where the ghost in question was framed right before he died as being the terrorist who crashed this plane and killed everyone on board. And even though by the end of the book only Cole, I think was his name, and 4 other people knew that he didn't actually kill anybody, and he was in fact trying to stop the terrorist from crashing the plane, he was fine with that and was able to let go and move on to the afterlife. So, you know, Clear My Name's a pretty good one. I like that one better than Revenge, even though it's weird, since Batman's about vengeance for the most part. Unfinished Business, if you guys haven't seen Casper, I suggest you go watch it right now and then come back to this video. The main story for Casper is that him and every other ghost had some, well, unfinished business that they needed quiet to do in order for them to pass on. This is actually, never mind, I'm not going to spoil the ending. Well, actually, no, it's been, what, almost 20 years? More than? Well, maybe less than. I don't remember when it came out. This is how they defeated What's-Her-Face at the end of the movie, who had become a ghost and was more powerful and much more of a threat than, you know, when she was alive. And evidently she was in every single movie. Wait, no, not every single movie, just the first and last. Or maybe she was in every single one. I don't remember. I'll go look. And once she got the treasure, which is what she wanted in life, what's her face? Winona Ryder, right? I don't remember. Her character in there pointed out that since she's gotten everything she wanted in life, she has no reason to be tethered to the physical world, and she accidentally causes herself to pass on to the afterlife. You could have a ghost like in The Sixth Sense where they don't realize they're dead and they just go about their daily life like nothing's wrong. This can take two flavors. One, where it's just a what you would call a residual haunting. If you guys are fans with Ghost Hunters, which is kind of the reason why I wanted to do Ghost in this video, a residual haunting is where the ghost will act as it did in life, and it's just that imprint. Think of it as like watching a film, and it just plays over and over regardless of you being there or not. Or it could be like in the Sixth Sense movie, where he doesn't realize he's a ghost. Spoilers. Wow, that's kind of messed up. Well, it's been long enough. And, whatchamacallit, I think by now everybody knows the twist ending anyway. And, what was I saying? Alright, and he just doesn't know that he's a ghost, and that's... I think that's the only types that would really be in this part. Their violent ghosts are just angry spirits in general who are aware that they're dead and hate the living for still being alive, so they torment them. Let's see. Another reason for there to be a haunting taking place is the excuse me. The location in which is being haunted was a place of torment for the person in life, and now they're permanently attached to this location just because of all that negative emotion just kind of seeping into the area. Huh. Oh, this one's a good one. Love being a reason for someone becoming a ghost. This actually manifested in an episode of Supernatural in the last season, if I remember correctly. The little boy, his mother was haunting him after she died in a car accident, I believe it was. And she, as a spirit, was going more and more unhinged. And ultimately she decided that the best way to protect her son was to kill every single person that tormented him, however slight. If someone sent him home without, or not home, but sent him to bed with, say, without dessert, she would have killed them. Stuff like that is how messed up things were going for her as a ghost. This one I've actually talked about in the last two monster videos, even though we've had more than that. No proper burial. The lack of respect, the lack of memorialization, there we go. Or, like with an Indian burial ground, the graves have been disturbed and desecrated. This one makes sense, too. This one's kind of the inverse, I suppose, of the power of love, where someone who is missing the person in question, who is a ghost, so much that it keeps them bound to the world because they can't move on because the person won't let them go. Let's see. Let's see, what else? Another one is evil people who don't want to pass on to the afterlife for fear of what comes next. Remain trapped here. You see this in a couple of episodes of Supernatural, in fact. I remember when Dean died, and a Reaper's trying to tell him to just go on to the afterlife, because if he doesn't, she'll leave him, and he'll eventually turn into the same spirits that him and his brother fight all the time. Let's see. It could be a form of torture, or I guess not torture, punishment. Yeah, punishment, that's better. they can't move on to the afterlife until they make right what they did wrong in life. A good example of this would be the Phantom Stranger from DC Comics. If I remember correctly, at some point it was decided that the Phantom Stranger is Judas, and he has to... Or was that the Spectre? Anyway, they're basically the same thing. Wow, that's kind of messed up for me to say. Anyway, the point is, until he can make right what he did wrong, he's permanently trapped as a spirit doing the Lord's work, is what's important. Let's see. What else is there? Another thing that could cause ghosts would be forcing them to come back, say through a ritual or black magic. This is kind of where, if you want to try and be technical, I guess you could say voodoo zombies come from. Like, you let them die and then you bring them back. Let's see. You could have, let's see, what kind of spirits have I gone over? There are so many. Most of them involve either a location or a specific person or an item. These are the tethers to the real world, or I guess the physical world, since they're not physical. And if they're not physical, I guess technically you could say they're not real. So if someone says ghosts don't exist, they're not technically wrong. Let's say for the sake of argument, ghosts are in fact a thing. You can document them, you can interact with them. They don't technically exist in a way that we could really understand it. Another type of ghost, it's a poltergeist from the movie, which I haven't watched yet. I'm about to though. This is a ghost. The term poltergeist is German, I think. It means noisy spirit, and what this does, it has no like physical body. Of course, none of them really do, but it has no like physical or a representation that one could really perceive. And it's the thing that goes bump in the night, essentially. You know, if you're ever at home alone and you think you're being haunted, like you keep hearing noises that shouldn't be happening, like, say, stuff flies out of wherever you have it, or it falls, and it ends up in a place that it shouldn't have, that would be a poltergeist. Let's see, what else is there? One thing most people don't consider, I think I actually did talk about this already, somewhat. Say you're using a Ouija board and although that one's just a toy, but there are spirit boards or calling boards, I think they're called. If you were to have an open invitation, whatever is nearby would be able to enter, kind of like with the vampires. We talked about that, remember? You could accidentally let in a demonic spirit, which would be something that was never human and is just pure malevolence, nothing to do with Maleficent. And it's just pretending to be a ghost so that you fail at getting rid of it. Let's see. Possible appearances? Nah. Let's see. What can we talk about? I guess some ways to deal with ghosts. One thing you can do... Wow, that's actually a decent time so far. One thing you can do is... let's say there's a physical body at the location of what's being haunted. If you were to find them, give them a proper burial, that might be enough to allow their spirit to be put to rest and they can go on to the afterlife. Or if you are dealing with a violent spirit, go the supernatural route, and just have the body dug up and salt and burn it. Or like what's his face? I think it was H.H. Holmes or something like that. They put him trapped in a ring of salt and all the exits covered in cement so that he could never escape, trapped down there forever, unless of course an earthquake happens and he's set free again, because he was apparently the only ghost that they couldn't actually kill. Let's see. Yeah, well, salt, actually, thanks for mentioning that, me. It was... I think they used this in Hocus Pocus. Do you guys remember that movie? That was a fun movie. They used this in regards to warding off the witches and whatnot, because since salt is used to preserve things, it was considered to have, I don't want to say holy powers, but it has repelling effects on the supernatural for the most part. That's why Sam and Dean in Supernatural use rock salt shells in shotguns when dealing with spirits. Except for the tulpa, that was funny though. Alright, let's see. What was the movie? Was it Insidious, where the family was being haunted and they actually moved, but they were told later that the spirit is haunting their child specifically, and so it would follow them no matter where they went. Oh, that's another thing. Most people complain about characters in movies not just moving away. This would be one reason why it wouldn't matter. It would just follow them. Another reason is if you bought a house that was haunted, even if you didn't know it was haunted, it's probably because it was so freakishly cheap that it was the only thing you could afford, and so you put all your money into that and you cannot leave because there is nowhere for you to go, which is what happened with The Conjuring. Now, The Conjuring, that was a good movie. I liked it a lot. That had all types of spirits. You had your residual hauntings going on there. You had your demonic spirits. You had your vengeful ghosts that hate the living. All sorts of stuff going on in there. Why can't I talk today? I wonder. Alright, well, if you guys can think of anything I haven't discussed about ghosts, let me know down in the comments, and then maybe we can put together some gigantic video of just folklore in general, of all the stuff. Maybe I could turn it into a live stream where we just go on, say TV tropes, and we read up on all kinds of monsters and whatnot. I don't know. But this has been a really long episode. I'm about to start recording my Twilight reading for the day. I wanted to get this one up first because I had a late start and I wanted to get a video uploaded hopefully soon. Thanks you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys are having fun. I know I am. I get that I'm still a little awkward, and by little, I mean a lot. But I'm getting there, and I'm having a blast doing this. I don't know why. I guess getting out of my comfort zone and, you know, like taking little steps each day makes me feel better about myself, which is a good thing. So I suggest you guys try it. But I've rambled on long enough. Until next time. Goodbye, everybody.